Hey, good morning. We're on First Peter chapter 4 today, and it's interesting. It kind of, the bookends, the beginning and the end, deal with suffering. And it says, since therefore Christ suffered in the flesh, arm yourselves with the same way of thinking. For whoever has suffered in the flesh has ceased from sin. So Peter is making it clear that since Christ suffered, we should expect that we will have times of suffering as well. And it talks about that even we should rejoice in verse 13. Rejoice as you share in Christ's suffering. If you are insulted for the name of Christ, you are blessed. Anyone suffers as a Christian, this suffering not only should be expected, it should be, Peter would say, it should be almost embraced, that we are sharing, as we suffer for the gospel, we are sharing in Christ's suffering. We're sharing his blessing. And it says the Gentiles, they live in sensuality, passions, drunkenness, orgies, drinking parties, lawless idolatry. And they want you to join them, and they're surprised when you don't join them. But Peter is saying they will give account for their behavior. So this aspect, again, how we live totally matters. Verses 7 through 11, we're called to be self-controlled, to be sober-minded. And then in verse 8, which is, it says, above all, that should really grab our attention. Above all, keep loving one another earnestly, since love covers a multitude of sins. Show hospitality. And then he talks about, as each has received a gift, use it to serve one another as good stewards. So Peter is saying, above all, love one another earnestly. And we love by discerning what gifts, and I think of gifts as any talent, any skill, any ability that's been given to us, whether it's at birth, whether it's something we learn, whether it's a spiritual gift upon our conversion to Jesus, that we are to use those gifts in service to one another. And that is how we show love. So the obvious question today is, are you using your giftedness, how God made you, those things that you're good at, are you using those to serve one another? Or are you, A, not using it, or B, are you using them selfishly? And Peter makes it clear that above all, we are called to love, and that we do that by using our gifts to serve one another. So give that some thought today. And, I think in my own life that I do okay. I don't do great. And I know there's some ways I can improve a little bit. And, there's some gifts I think I use and do well. There's others I tend to neglect, especially in my service to others. So think about that. Give that some ponder, and maybe what you ask God to identify, what are some ways you can make one step in that direction of doing that better. So I'd love for you to share with what God is prompting you to do, and if I can help you in any way, certainly let me know. God bless. We will wrap up First Peter tomorrow. Take care.